Hi, I'm Anna and welcome back to my channel Real Raw Rentals. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing my financial update for the month of January 2021. So to start it off, on January 1st, I had a balance in my savings account of $100,113.46. For my rental property income from January, I made $1,222.65. My rental property expenses were $1,799.71. And then for my other deposits and withdrawals, those added up to be $9,959.30. So that left me with an ending balance for the month of January of $109,495.70. So in terms of my rental property income, all $1,222.65 came from the monthly rent that I get each month from the one and only property I currently own. In terms of my rental property expenses, my first expense was for my mortgage payment for that one property I own, and that was $749.71. I also went under contract on a property in January, and I'll discuss how that's going a little bit later, but in terms of the due diligence and earnest money, I only had to put down $500, and then I had to pay for an inspection and for a company to find the septic tank because apparently it was hard to find. And so those two items together cost me $550. So in total, my rental property expenses were $1,799.71. I also had other deposits and withdrawals. So first of all, my savings account pays me an interest each month, and so this month I made $27.34 of interest. I also automatically deposit money into my account each month. This month I actually deposited $1,100, and so that is an error where it says $1,000. I had been automatically depositing $1,000 each month, but then my goal was for every 6 months to increase that amount by $100. And so for the new year, I increased it by $100 to $1,100 per month. Then I had $8,826.52 of other deposits. And so what that's from is selling stocks from index funds. And the main reason I did that is because I was realizing I was consistently just a little bit shy of having enough money to purchase the properties that I was interested in. So I figured if I was able to get some more money into my savings account, I would be able to make offers on considerably more properties. So in total, I deposited $9,959.30 into my account this month. And so that left me with an overall gain of $9,382.24. However, if I take away all the deposits I made that were unrelated specifically to my rental properties, then I was left with a loss of $577.06 for the month. And that's just due to the fact that I had to pay some due diligence and earnest money and inspection fees. So moving on to my 2021 year-to-date finances. They're really not that exciting because it's only been 1 month, but as I mentioned earlier, I started with $100,113.46. I had some income, some expenses, and some other deposits, and that left me with an ending balance for the month of January 2021 of $109,495.70. So now I want to go a little bit more in depth on the property that I was paying for the due diligence fee, earnest money, inspection, and septic tank locator. So this property was listed for $102,000. It had been on the market for about 3.5 months, and so I offered considerably under what they were asking for. I offered $92,500. The seller countered for $95,000, and I agreed to that and signed my contract. The expected monthly rent for this property was $1,000 per month, and there was some repairs that needed to be done, but they were very minimal. It was mainly scraping the ceiling, replacing a few boards on the deck, potentially repainting the walls because there was a pretty heavy smoke smell in the property. But overall, the property was pretty close to rent ready. Now, this property is located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the thing that made this property different than most is that it was being sold by the commissioner of Winston-Salem instead of by, your typical property owner. And I never got the specifics on why exactly the commissioner was selling it, but the person who was living in the property was the heir of someone who had owned it in the past, and it sounded like they either weren't paying their taxes or some other reason why the city was kicking them out. My realtor informed me that the main difference that this would cause is that after a 30-day due diligence period, there would then be a 60-day closing period. I assume that's just for the city to get everything in order and make sure everything's good. And the other weird thing is that on the day of closing, anyone can come and outbid me for the property. That being said, they have to outbid me by at least 5%. And given that the property had been sitting on the market for a while and didn't have much interest, I wasn't too worried about that. If that were to happen, I could then outbid them as long as I increased the bid by 5% as well. However, like I said, it seemed very unlikely that that would happen, and my realtor was saying that in the past year, 300 properties had been sold like this, and only 2 of them had any sort of bidding going on the day of closing. So it was pretty low odds that that would happen. However, if it did happen, I was willing to take that risk because it really wouldn't be the end of the world if I got outbid. Yes, it would be a waste of the due diligence, earnest money, and inspection fees, but in the scheme of things, that's not that big of a deal, especially because the due diligence fee and earnest money were considerably lower than average. Now, things got a little more complicated when we tried to do the inspection. The person who was living in the house claimed that they had not been told what day the inspection was happening and therefore would not let the inspectors into the property. I was told that they had been warned about the inspection happening. But either way, the inspection was rescheduled and made clear multiple times to the person living in the property when the inspection would be happening. When they went the second time to do the inspection, the person would not let them in as well. And so the commissioner ended up canceling our contract and returning my earnest money and told me that in the future, when the property is able to be relisted, that I'll get first dibs on the property. And the reason they had to cancel the contract was because they're going to have to take the person living in the property to court, is my understanding, and work through the eviction process to get them out of that property. So while it was a bummer that that contract ended up being canceled, it is nice that I won't have to deal with evicting the person who's currently living there. And secondly, when the property is ready to be relisted, I'll get first dibs on the property. And in the meantime, I am able to make offers on other properties, which actually is what I ended up doing. I made a couple offers, however, one was accepted, and so I am, again, currently under contract on a property. That property is located in St. Louis. It's very close to the other property that I own, and so I'm in the process of closing on that property. Per usual, it's not going as smoothly as I would have hoped, but I am pretty confident that it will end up working out and that hopefully within a few weeks I will be the proud owner of 2 rental properties. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it below and subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this. Thank you.